Thanks for calling the Beards and Sundries hotline. You've reached Anthony. Leave a message after the beep.
Hi guys, this is George.
Hey, Anthony.
Ow. Just want to call and leave a quick voicemail. Say hello. I'm home recovering from surgery, but you boys are important enough for both of us to leave you a voicemail, because we care about you. So anyway, we're getting ready to go to bed because we're both exhausted. So we will talk at y'all later. Bye.
Love y'all.
You've reached the Beards and Sundries podcast, where things get gay, and hilarious. You've made it past seasons 1, 2, and 3. Now you've reached season 4, the hottest season yet. This season's gonna be the tits. Now, sit down, strap on, in, and get ready to laugh your asses off with your 3 bearded hosts, because they've been waiting all week to get you hot for this show. Now, welcome your hosts, Jay, Anthony, and Joe.
And welcome back.
Hi.
He's sick, you whore. Hi.
Boo, you whore.
Welcome back to season 4, episode 9 of Beards and Sundries. Back on my bullshit.
That's right, all the way back. Guess who's back? Back
Is
again.
it Shady?
No. It's back.
It's me, you stupid.
And that means it's time for another lunch break here at Beards and Sundries, the shop where 3 gay men with beards do inventory on a new sundry item in every episode.
My name is Jay, and I exist, I guess. I don't know what's going on.
The worst intro you've ever done.
Thank you.
You're welcome. I'm Anthony, and I can't be the only one to sniff my fingers after I've scratched my balls.
Everyone likes their own brand. Makes
Deal.
nuts. Gotta dig in that jar.
That's nice.
Oh, I've only got one cashew.
Anthony usually has a little bit of fresh ginger root right there on that smell, too.
It's a chestnut, Jay. It's a chestnut, not a cashew.
Why is it shaped so weird?
And I'm Joe, and since I have the day off tomorrow, I felt like mouthing off to every single one of my managers today, and I did it to 2 of them. But that means that today's sundry item is feeling normal or nah. Beardos, it's been quite a year already, and as we look around at everything that's going on, we keep asking ourselves, is this normal? Are our feelings normal? Is everyone's reaction normal? Is the news normal? Because it certainly doesn't feel like it. What the hell's going on? So today, we are going to try and figure out what's happening, why we feel this way, and as you listen today, we'd love to know if you feel normal these days. Or nah. But before we get too far into the normalcy, or lack thereof, how about this week's voicemail?
What surgery did he have?
You remember he had
George, what surgery did you have? I didn't know.
Yeah, we talked about it. It was a while back now, earlier this year, but he had the hernia repaired.
That's right. Okay, that rings a bell. Sorry, I don't remember what I had for lunch yesterday. Just kidding, I do. It was leftover chicken tikka masala, and it was fucking dope.
Beardos, I'm not saying that George set the bar a little high, but he had surgery and was really tired, and he left us a voicemail.
And said that he loved us, which we love him too, so
So it's time to step up your pussy.
Right. And
Step the pussy up.
Zach and Toad, you guys don't count. I'm wearing a Toadberg original currently. That's what this little like vest hoodie is. It's a little
Make the ears shake.
in my office.
No, back and forth.
Oh.
Yes.
But thank you guys. I hope that you're feeling better.
Yeah, we're happy to hear from you, as always.
Just always. But, Joe, is it normal for me to forget to ask you about sundries?
That's the most normal thing about this episode, Beardos. But if you are new to the show and you're wondering just what the hell a sundry is, the term comes from an Old English word meaning odds and ends. Now, today it's used mainly in retail to group together items that don't typically have a group of their own. So, as three very abnormal gay men with beards, we are using the term to group together the wide range of topics that we cover.
Wow. What an incredibly normal intro.
I feel the most normal I've ever felt.
No, you don't. You feel sick.
You're right.
You've been complaining about it all
I don't
day.
feel that great. It's just allergies. We had that cold front blow in, and I was already suffering cedar allergies, and then that cold front blew in, and I basically died.
I got a little mad at you earlier because I was in the kitchen and I started sneezing and I could just feel stuff happening in my nose. And I was like, that motherfucker gave me allergic reactions. I don't know how he did it, but I'm going to blame him the whole fucking day.
That's fine.
Yeah, Beardos. So basically, we're recording this on Wednesday, February 28th. Yesterday in Oklahoma, it was 82 degrees, sunny, gorgeous,
it was
windy.
Closer to like, what was it?
86,
like
I think.
Yeah.
And then a fun cold front came in last night, and when I woke up this morning around 8 a.m., it was 16 degrees outside. Yay!
Yeah.
I got into my car and I was like, what the fuck? I went back for a jacket.
I left for work with teens as the wind chill, and I left for work, was there 30 minutes, and I like looked at my boss and I was like, I can't. I feel terrible. My eyes were all red because they were itchy, and I ran out of meds and I needed to go get more, and I was like, I'm just gonna go buy meds and go home and work.
Yeah. I was getting in my car and I was like, should I change into jeans? And I was like, nah. I'm already out here. I'm committed.
You can wear shorts to work?
I wear shorts to work every day.
I'm so jealous.
I wear shorts to work every day, too.
I'm so jealous.
I wore jeans today, but I regretted it after a while. But I wear shorts a lot because it's very warm.
Well, I thought for sure working in an office environment that I'd have to have like specific dress code. I wear like shorts and a polo. I look like everyone's fucking dad about to go to the golf course.
It's the same at my work.
But I'm more dressed up than like half the people there.
I mean, as it warms up, I do start wearing a lot of those golf polos and just polos in general, so I absolutely look like a basic city dad.
Mm-hmm. I do every day, and I own it. I'm just like, look, I'm going to look like a dad. That's what it's going to be, except for these glasses, and nobody ever comments on these, which pisses me the fuck off. It's kind of like these glasses are the work equivalent for me of our commercials. They're my favorite thing that I have going on, and nobody ever says anything about them.
Is it normal to be offended by things like that?
Yes. Normal for me.
It's so funny when I'm like, oh, guys, I spritzed on a new cologne, and I know everyone's going to love it. And then I get home, and I'm like, nobody commented on how I smell today. What if everyone hates it?
I feel like it is a little normal after a while to feel like I'm putting this effort in and I'm hoping somebody notices, then eventually like nobody notices and you're like, what the fuck is happening? And I get it. Like the person who sees me the most at my work is very straight and very ADHD. Granted, he's medicated, but at like the same time, he's not going to notice. He barely notices anything else. Like when he gets fixated on something, he hyperfixates, but like everything else kind of like evaporates.
What's funny is I also wear dress shoes that are kind of flashy, but I've had them for a really long time. And I mean, they look old, I feel like. And every time I wear them, people are like, I love those shoes. And I'm like, these are old. Compliment something new. There's only 1,100 of you in this building. You should all remember what I wear on a regular basis.
Nobody does.
I know. I'm so offended. I thought I was really cool.
Well, I also thought people would notice like my hair growing out at work. And because it was short for the longest time, and then, nobody says anything about it. So here we are.
I will say that it's kind of this weird thing that I've noticed a lot too. I'll go back and watch some of our older TikTok videos sometimes, and I'm like, whoa.
Why did
Our
we look
beards
so
were
different?
Our hair was different. Like, so there's sometimes where I was like trimmed all the way up and my hair was looking like chic, or back when I had my long beard, or when Anthony had your short hair, and that was like not even a year ago. And I'm just
Yeah.
like, we looked so different.
My beard was so poofy, and it almost looks like the video's antique. And I'm like, wait, why?
Because our video was worse, except for
That's
yours,
true.
I guess. So I don't know what your problem is.
I don't know. I'm just looking at it through an old eye now, so it's all.
You're always looking at stuff through old eyes.
Thank you. It means I'm mature and aged and refined.
Well, aged, yes. Mature.
Well, speaking of the workplace, here's one thing that a lot of people tend to think is normal that I think is nah, and that is the word let's. Let''s. I'll give you a good vague example because I don't want to make anything too specific. So, someone who's in power comes up to you and says, hey, let's get this done, and then they walk away. So, they're not using the word correctly, are they? So here's
I
a
see where you're coming
little
from.
grammar.
And that
Here's
is
a little grammar
really
lesson for
annoying.
you guys.
Yep.
The word "let's" is a contraction, and it's two words put together: let and us. And us is the key word there because us means you and I, two people. So when someone comes up to you and they say, "Hey, let's get this done," they should be thinking, "We're going to do this together," as in they're going to jump in as well. When they walk away, they shouldn't be saying, "Let's get this done." They should be saying, "Hey, you get this done for me," and then they can walk away.
Well, now, Joe, to be fair, contractions generally are a version of the first word and some other word, and they're not really specifying what the S belongs to. So maybe they're saying, let use do this.
Let you.
Or let you, youths.
use. You like use guys? It's very
Hey,
maybe they're from
use
Brooklyn.
guys.
Use guys.
I'm just saying that it shouldn't be normal to use the word "let's" when you mean you want someone else to do something for you.
I don't think it should be normal to be a passive aggressive leader. And that uses
God,
let's
no.
as a function like that to prove a point. Let's do this. And I'm just like, no, you're telling me to do that. Let's just like handle it. Right.
Somebody emailed me today in corporate speak, and I could tell they came from a company that is very different from the one that I work for now because I have lived in corporate speak for so long. And I read it, and it was this long fucking diatribe about setting aside time to like learn things. And they had drilled everything down to like the minute, like we're going to do this during this time. And this is what it is. And like one of the things was, collaborate to, give insights into, and I was like, whoa, I think you come from somewhere like where I came from, where you were used to corporate speak. But here, a lot of people that you send this email to are going to be like, what the actual fuck are they talking about? And I sent a message to my coworker. I was like, this email is giving me PTSD, literally, currently.
KPIs.
I know. I was like, God, Jesus Christ. Can you just email us and say, hey, I want a little bit of your time?
Yeah.
When I email people, I do tend to say we, but I do mean myself and my coworker generally when I say that.
And that's the difference.
And that is the difference because usually I'm using we in the place of I, as though like, yes, I did correct this in the system. Yes, I did do all of these steps. Yes, I did do all of this stuff. But instead of me just saying, I did this, I did this, I did this, I just say, yeah, we did this. This is what the results were. We went through and we did this. And that's it. And even though I did the work, like it is we, but it's only because when you email with a lot of I's, people tend to get a little eye rolly.
Well, it's fun that we're talking about grammar because I want to kind of shift just a little bit over to a different gear, and I want to talk about the term they. And
Who are they?
Coming from a retail background, I've worked retail jobs before, I've worked in serving industries. They is a very common word that people use whenever they don't remember talking to somebody or they're making something up. Case in point. Someone comes into a store that you're working at and they say, "Oh, you have this in stock. I talked to someone on the phone and they said you have it." My response typically is now, who is they?
Who are they?
Did you get their name? Do you remember who you spoke with? Who is they? And and then the person I'm talking to usually just gets the lead paint stare. And they have no idea what I mean. You talked to somebody on the phone, they probably gave you their name, you didn't think to ask their name, because now we have this situation where you have no idea who you talked to, and now the item that you're looking for is not here, and we have no one to follow up with to talk to about the item not being here. Stop using they.
So here's the thing. Beardos. If you go to a store, even if you call beforehand and somebody said that it was in stock there, if you go to a store and they don't have it, they're not going to pull it out of their asses for you. They really don't have it. Anybody who's ever worked in a retail environment can tell you, if they don't have it and they tell you they don't have it, unless you are a bitch leading up to them, they don't have it. They can't just pull it out of their fucking asses. They can't be like, "Oh, sorry that somebody said that we had it. Here, hang on. Let me manufacture one for you real quick." No, that's not how that shit works. Like, what the fuck?
I used to hear a lot of people do it with like customer service and bill paying and all that stuff too. Like, "Oh, they said I could do this. They said I could do that." Oh, they did? Where's they? Who's they? When was they? Where are they?
So it's funny.
They probably don't exist, and you're lying.
When I was working in retail for the company that I worked for 15 years, I got to a point, because at first when I was a general manager, I was like, "Yeah, oh yeah, we'll help you. If they said that, then we're going to help you." It took me less than 1 year to completely flip the script and be like, "Yeah, if they said it, then you just got to call them back, because they got to honor it." But like, I don't have notes for it. I don't know who that is. Like, I don't have any way of doing that. So like, if they said it, you got to call them back. And they'd be like, "Really?" And I'd be like, "Yeah, I mean, I don't have the ability to do that. So if they said it, you got to call them." And then I make notes. I said, "The customer says that this is what was said to them."
Allegedly.
Allegedly.
One of the most cushiest words in the English language is the word allegedly.
I use it so much anymore because I'm
You
always
have to.
just... I like will repeat something I was told, and I said, "Now, allegedly, this is what's happening, or this is what's going on." And I'll be like, "I want you to know that it's allegedly, because if it doesn't go that way, I don't want you to be like, Jay lied." And I cover my ass all the time. But also, to be fair, the last department I worked in for the last 12 and a half years was very legal focused. So everything you said was vague.
It's funny because like, I don't have to deal with legal in my current position, but I also am so tired of like, I'm at a point where I want as little responsibility as possible in my current job. Like, you don't pay me enough to take responsibility for much. And so like yesterday we were talking about some item number that we're phasing out, and I was like, "Yeah, like everything looks good. We're good to go." And then like the person who's the product manager, this is a product manager, which means that they are in charge of what products we have, right? Like, this is the person who says we have these items or we don't have these items, emails me back and says, "Okay, so are we good to discontinue this thing?" And I was like, "I don't know, man. Do you see anywhere in my title where it says product anything?" My title says inventory control analyst. Nothing up there says I can discontinue anything. I just say where it is.
I would literally always say, "My opinion is this," but I'm like, I do not have the or I am not qualified based on this company standards to make that decision for you.
I emailed them back and I CC'd my boss on it because he's also in charge of like determining item structure in the system. And I was just like, if you and my boss are good with this, then yes. It just blows my mind where like, it's the whole thing with Donald Trump right now where everyone's like, allegedly. Well, allegedly. He's still under trial. And I'm like, okay. But
But we've also argued so much, you're innocent until proven guilty, and we've used it in every instance where it's like, but you're obviously guilty, and they're like, not until it's proven.
What's his interest that he's gaining on that loan every day? It's like $118,000 every day.
$114,000, and they ruled today that he has to pay the full amount. And I'm so excited about this because his lawyer had made some comment about, like, if he does this, it will ruin him. Like, if he does it, it'll ruin him. I'm like,
allegedly.
Okay, so it ruins him. Fuck off. This is the same fucking thing that happened to Brock Turner when they're like, well, we can't ruin his future. And I'm like, oh, are you fucking kidding me? Because he ruined this girl's future. So, can we not? Can we not just go ahead and do the same thing? Is that not justice?
Why is this entire chaotic political scene? I mean, this is more chaotic than any we've had in the past. Why is this normal?
It's not.
Why,
It cannot
as
be,
since
but it
2016, since that election, why has this been normalized? That's where I'm confused. And why does it just feel so overwhelming to deal with politics anymore?
Because we have taken years and years and years of society where we have continued to defund education in red states and just generally throughout the nation. But then on top of that, we have Reaganomics, which increases income disparity in the U.S. that continues to stagnate wages and to stagnate our standard of living and decrease our standard of living so that there are more poor people. And hey, guess what uneducated poor people do, Jay? They vote for these idiots because they hear people who are speaking their mind, and that's all they want. They want a voice. They want to be heard, and that resonates with them. They don't want to hear political talk. They want to hear the stupidest, lowest common denominator person say, grab them by the pussy, and that's where we're at.
I just miss when political conversations were actually intelligent and where, like, I felt like I was learning. Now I feel like I'm actually getting dumber listening to political arguments. Or did I just get really smart and now it's just beneath me?
That's questionable.
I mentioned to Anthony that it was this weird kind of paradigm shift where I remember back in college, and it was 2008, and it was the first election that I voted in because I was finally 20 years old and I could vote.
That was my first election.
It was my first election, and I voted for Obama. And I used a touchscreen voting system about it. I didn't use any paper ballots because that was old-fashioned. We used touchscreens, and we recorded our votes electronically. Then I moved to Oklahoma, and I went to go vote for the first time, and they gave me a fucking Scantron, and I was like, what the hell is this? Where are the computers?
I've always been a Scantron.
Ugh.
Well, that's because you can't trust technology.
You gotta watch out for technology.
You know, technology can ruin everything.
The liberals are controlling the technology.
They're taking the guts out of technology and changing them with different guts that change the vote.
And they're replacing it with abortion.
Oh, and gays.
It's so funny to listen to Republicans go on and on about like voter fraud and voting manipulation whenever they just straight up do it. They just do it. It's called gerrymandering, and it's totally legal. And they just continue to do it because, like, that's the only way they can stay in power in any certain places, because otherwise they would never win an election.
Have you seen the gerrymandering font that they created?
You sent that to me, and that is so funny.
It is this font that was created by using a bunch of different gerrymandered maps put together to create all the letters of the alphabet. And it's a font called Jerry, Gerry. It is so funny.
I didn't really pay attention to it.
Some of the letters, you would imagine, show how crazy the maps are that have been gerrymandered to get the certain election results that they all want to get. And I use the word they, but I think you all pretty much know what they is when I say they.
Republicans.
But I always laugh how the Oklahoma representatives are like, we're a supermajority state, we've got to support our actual constituents. And then all of a sudden they're like, we're a supermajority. And I'm like, but actually, when you don't gerrymander it, Oklahoma City and Tulsa are pretty blue.
Yep.
Speaking of Oklahoma in 2024, fellas, is it normal to be called filth by an Oklahoma senator?
Yes. At least for us it is.
Oh, Anthony, you didn't hear the good news?
You didn't hear this?
Oh my God, I thought you would have heard before all of us.
I am shocked you didn't hear. And he's not even like a really old man. He's like one of the younger representatives.
I'm trying not to add additional mental illness to myself currently.
Here.
No. We're doing this podcast. This is an outlet for me. So please give it to me.
It's Tom Woods said it. And he was based. Tom
He's a
Woods
senator, right?
Tom Woods, senator, yes, released a statement about remarks. Oh, what was his statement? State senator.
Well, read us the original first.
Oh, okay. So they were commenting about this Nex's death situation, and he said, "My heart goes out to the scenario if that is the case, but we represent a constituency. We're a Republican state, supermajority in the House and Senate. I represent a constituency that doesn't want that filth in Oklahoma. We are a religious state. We're going to fight to keep that filth out of the state of Oklahoma because we're a Christian state. We're a moral state."
Yeah.
So wait, are you going to pay me to leave? Because I would love for you to pay me to leave.
He was recorded on camera saying it on audio and video, so it's not even allegedly.
Here's the thing, Tom Woods. Here's what I need from you. Give me money to leave, and I will leave. I want to leave. I do not want to be here anymore. Honestly, it's either give me $10,000 to move for my reload.
$10,000. That's it.
I'm just asking for a little bit. I just want something.
No, you fucking be greedy.
He's buying the house so we can move away.
So
to get the filth out of his state.
An unfilthy straight couple and let us move, and you need to buy it at fair market value no matter the condition. No inspections, like nothing. You're paying closing costs. You're doing the whole thing. You're giving me all of the profitability from it. And then, Tom Woods, we'll leave. Because I will happily get the fuck out of this state. Because people like you are goddamn human trash. And everything in this state with all of the human trash in it just tends to compost. And all of that compost smells like fucking shit.
Well, and Tom Woods' comment on filth is pretty ironic to me because this state has a really bad reputation for being the bottom in everything.
White trash.
Yeah, we're always the bottom in anything we want to be higher up in, and we're always really high in whatever we shouldn't be, like incarceration rates and things like that.
Hey, those are good moral people in jail.
Yeah.
Watch out, those aren't filth, Jay. Not if they're not gay.
The shit that comes out of our, Oklahoma government in general, it's literally filth. I mean, the shit they say, the shit they bring out, it's filth. But Tom Woods is worried about, he corrected his statement, by the way. He's like, it's the people trying to convince kids to be transgender. And I'm like, why don't you guys ever understand what is happening? I'm so confused how you could be this lost.
Who are these people? Who are they?
I never in my life has somebody been like,
he doesn't know their names. They're the magical they.
They.
The thing is, I swear Oklahoma's going to start a new DARE campaign, but it's going to be for transgender. If somebody comes up to you and says, hey, be transgender, you're going to be like, no. I mean, that's what I imagine he's going to do. Drugs aren't the concern anymore.
It's the same fucking people who are giving away their drugs. They're like, here, have some marijuana and be trans, and it's all free. And I'm like, no, I paid for that marijuana.
This doctor pops around from the back of a dumpster. Hey, kid, you want to be trans?
Yeah, that doctor does pop.
That's just how I imagine Tom Woods' brain works. Is he just assumes now that it's, instead of a drug dealer, it's a trans child operator?
I don't want to think about how his brain works. I just think he would be like sitting senator from West Virginia, Ace Martin, is what I would have turned into probably.
Oh, what do you guys have in common, Ace?
So how about this, you guys? Now that we're getting into a little more serious territory, why don't we lean into it for a little bit? Let's take a break and then come back and then talk a little bit more about last week's subject matter.
Ooh, yes.
Before we go to commercial.
Okay.
Yeah.
Let's do it.
Okay.
You're listening to Jay, Anthony, and Joe on the Beards and Sundries podcast, the podcast rated 5 out of 6 balls.
big bone.
This show is rated 5 out of 6 balls. Why would you be so mature, Anthony?
No, because you're always the one doing it. Okay.
Oh, so if everyone else was jumping off a bridge, would you do that too?
These days, move out of my fucking
Yes,
way.
I would think it's the right way. Move, I'm gay! And then I just leap.
And then I'm going to jackknife onto Fifth Avenue, like Cynthia from First Wives Club. He should jack Fifth Avenue.
That's right.
Stockard Channing.
But you have to say it with a drink in your hand, and you're just like, I'm not a drunk.
I had guessed. Whoo, Guns N' Roses? Sorry.
God, I love that movie.
Every gay loves that movie.
I feel like I wanted to leave this in there, but we're transitioning to such a serious subject matter.
Oh, yeah. Ugh, how did I forget so quickly?
Well, because it's one of those days.
Because everyone's trying to make you forget so quickly, aren't they?
I know. But that's the whole point of us talking about this, is that we don't want to forget so quickly. We messaged about this. We wanted to have the podcast be lighter this week. We wanted to go back to our sort of normal structure, the way that we usually do these podcasts, and that is to make sure that your week stays lighter. But at the same time, we don't want to forget because issues like what has popped up with Next Benedict in the state of Oklahoma, they're a blip on the radar. The 24-hour news cycle has ruined us because you don't get to see those things long term. You don't get to like carry those through for weeks at a time. So we talked about this earlier and decided we want to talk a little bit more about it, not necessarily to expound on it and to go really deep into it. But Beardos, just so you know, we're going to talk a little bit more about Next Benedict updates. We're going to talk just for a minute about why this sort of came to be in relation to things like Tom Woods' statement. And why, no matter what you hear, because we had a couple of comments on the YouTube videos that were something about Next committing suicide. And I want people to understand, no matter what happened in this scenario, we let ourselves here regardless, whether Next was killed, committed suicide, or if it was just a freak accident. No matter what happened after the fact, there was a lot of political issues that led to this.
And I cannot believe, especially the people who are making laws about embryos being children and how we have to do everything possible to protect children, are suddenly going, well, they said that it wasn't the result of blunt trauma, so this was definitely something that Next, it was probably an issue they created. And I'm just like, how on earth can you be this hypocritical?
It's easy. They do it every fucking day. It's cognitive dissonance.
I also don't want to forget, because that's exactly what Tom Woods, that's exactly what libs of TikTok, all the news outlets, all the people in Oklahoma who were against all of this, that's what they want. They want us forget about it. Everyone will forget about it next week. Something else will happen. I don't want to forget about it, because if we forget about it, then no one's going to learn anything from it. And then Next's death will have been for nothing. And I refuse to let that happen.
I think we should raise money to start putting billboards in the city that says, Oklahoma Republicans don't support you unless you're white Christians.
I would support that, but we'll get bought out really quick by the Oklahoma Republicans.
Well, we'll just keep raising more money with our tens of listeners. George, Anthony, get your pocketbooks out.
I was going to say, listeners, are any of you rich? Is one of you a secret millionaire? We need money for signs.
I will be a sugar baby if I can put up these signs with your money. But I don't do much, so I'm not really a good
Jay
baby.
says, hey, Daddy, you want sucky fucky? It's 9:15. It's kind of late.
And I'm also a really good baby because I'm useless and I'm literally just gonna shit myself probably. But besides that,
Put that on a shirt.
I wish you'd shit yourself. Jesus.
no, it's not a bingo card this year. It's wasted.
I know. But here's the whole thing. we have these issues because of political rhetoric. We have the problems because of adults. And we talked about it last week. And I don't want to belabor the point too much, but we still are in this sort of nebulous area where people can't. There hasn't been definitive proof of what happened with Nex and how they died. And I also want to point out to you, Beardos, just in case any of you are out there like, well, yeah, I read the news. They said this is what happened. I also want you to know that there is a sheriff in Oklahoma in one of our counties who is still a sheriff in one of our counties who was caught on tape, on video and audio, threatening the life of a reporter, plotting to kill them and hide their body. And the attorney general in Oklahoma said that it wasn't a real case and knocked the case out of court. I want you to make sure that you know that, because that is the level of justice we experience in Oklahoma.
I'm pretty sure the sheriff, of my county, pretty sure he was at January 6th. And he says he wasn't, but everyone's like, no, you definitely were. Like, they're like holding up side by sides, and he's like, that wasn't me.
Allegedly.
We also start posses because the sheriffs can't do their jobs, I guess.
But that's what I need you to know about law enforcement in Oklahoma, because we have people who are saying, well, this is what law enforcement said. This is what the police are saying. Great. That's fantastic. But the police are corrupt. I mean, let's just face it. We've already established this. We've established this through historical issues that we deal with to this fucking day, that the police in America are corrupt. They just are. They're out for their own fucking interests.
No, well, that wasn't a question.
And it was not a question.
It's always interesting to me because they'll be like, yes, but these are statistics that make the police, handle this differently in these areas, things like that. And it's like, okay.
Reported statistics.
I need you to know that also, just because statistics say something doesn't mean that you take it at face value and run with it. Why would statistics be what they are in this area? Think about the history of civil rights. And when we crowd a group of people into one area and tell them they have to live lesser than everyone else, and generations, it just keeps following. These people didn't grow up with the same rights we had. These people didn't grow up with the same thought processes we had, the same chances in life we had. Do you understand how deep it is and why statistics like this do exist and what you have to do to change it?
It is the same fucking reason that we have more policing happen in neighborhoods where people of color primarily reside. We have food deserts in those same fucking neighborhoods, and then those grocery stores won't open up there because they're like, well, people will steal from us. And I'm like, it's because they're fucking starving. They just want to eat. If you're stealing from a grocery store, holy shit.
They're starving and they're being suppressed, so they don't have the income to go buy nice food. What is so difficult about this logic?
Normal or nah? Starving your citizens and then throwing them in fucking jail so that you can continue to benefit from slave labor thanks to a very small little asterisk on the 13th Amendment.
So I've talked about my 4 pillars of what makes America America before, and I won't belabor that again. But so at the very tippy top, the very tall steeple on the tall temple of what it is to be America, the answer to every single question, debilitating problem, question you have about anything in this country always comes down to one thing and one thing only: money. Money.
And I want you guys to know something.
Money.
At the end of the day, if society were to collapse, money is absolutely fucking worthless.
That's the funniest part about
bullshit thing that we have made up. It's our pretend. It might as well be simoleons. What the fuck?
Fucking type rosebud for me, baby.
Everyone always talks about, especially on the news, they're like, we have a strong economy right now, blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, do you guys like know how absolutely fragile everything is?
And then on top of that,
one-
the economy doesn't do jack shit for me. The economy doesn't do anything for me. The economy has done nothing for me.
Right.
The economy probably used to be something that mattered to people back before 1989, but it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
It matters to people who are on Wall Street. It matters to billionaires. It matters to people who have these like multi-million-dollar investments. Those people, I'm sure that they are all about the economy, but the rest of us who actually matter because we make up the majority of the world, fuck that. Yeah, I mean, fucking no, that's nothing.
I mean, I've had bad times when the economy is good, and I've had good times when the economy is bad, so it obviously does not impact me.
It does not impact me. So don't throw that bullshit around. Unless you're some cis hetero white dude who thinks that you know all about the economy because you are on Reddit.
It's just, after going through school, I couldn't believe how delicate everything is. How delicate society. I just don't think I realized how sensitive everything is.
I think J.R.R. Tolkien said it best when he said, "The quest sits on the edge of a knife." That's for all you nerds out there.
I don't get it. I'm not a nerd. No, I'm kidding.
I know. It's okay.
I saw a video recently where it was satire, so it did make me laugh a little bit. But it was this guy who was sitting down and getting financial advice from a financial advisor. I think they were both stand-up comedians, but they were doing a skit. And he said, "You're not what we call paycheck to paycheck. You're what we call vacation to pet surgery." And I was like, oh.
Which is where
And then
we
another
live.
one. And then another one, he said, "Have you ever had to replace 4 of your tires all at once?" And he said, "When did tires get so expensive?" And he said, "Ooh, yeah, that one hurt, didn't it?" And then the pinnacle of the video, the guy's getting advice goes, "I'm just trying to afford to have a kid." And the advisor lunges across the desk and punches him across the face, and then leans back into his chair and just uses hand sanitizer and wipes his hands off. I know, it just made me think, like, how is anyone affording living?
Nobody.
How are you all?
That's
How is anyone doing
that
this?
Our poverty levels haven't been reassessed for decades.
Minimum wage
And-
hasn't moved since 2007.
7 or 6. 2007, because it was 5, 6, and 7. They did incremental increases.
At work today, someone did the joke of like, everything seems to be going up, huh? And then I looked at someone and I was like, everything except my pay rate. And then everyone laughed because usually it's a joke. And I didn't laugh. And then everyone looked at me and just stopped laughing. And I was just like, yeah, it's not funny.
All of this is to circle back around and say, Beardos, because we brought up Next Benedict specifically, a lot of the issues we experience, not only in Oklahoma, but in the United States in general, are systemic. We have issues that expand past the socio-political. They are straight up political. They're economic. We have issues that have been instituted by a handful of people that affect millions of others of us. So that's how you end up with the Tom Woods of the world. That's how you end up with the Kevin Stitz of the world. That's how you end up with the Ryan Walters of the world. Yeah. So I know I'm not bringing solutions, but I don't know. I mean, do you guys want to hear the word guillotine? Because that's the solution. I would do that.
I could eat some cake. But do you guys think that now that we've brought the mood way back up, woohoo, you think it's time for a commercial?
It is time for commercial.
And now, for a word from our sponsor, the Republican to LGBTQ conversion camp.
We can't have this kind of filth in Oklahoma.
Gays are not safe.
Stop the gay agenda.
They're grooming our children.
Hi, I'm Josie Gaiman. We've been saddened by all the recent outcry of hatred toward the LGBTQ community, and we have to put a stop to it. And the Republicans have won. We can't keep telling them not to be gay if they don't like it. We have to make them gay now. Deep down, it's obvious that's what they want. You only hate what you hide. So, we've started the Republican to LGBTQ conversion camp. You can now knock your bigoted parents unconscious, load them in your trunk, and dump them here. Where, while the straights could never guarantee a proper conversion from gay, we absolutely can guarantee a conversion to gay. But I'm not going to boast all day. Why not hear it from a true testimonial?
I was mortified when my parents came out straight. I'm in my 30s. How could they do this to me? It was so embarrassing. We started getting hate mail and hearing rude comments on the street. Hey, breeders, have any babies lately? And it's Adam and Steve, not Adam and Eve, you bland bitches. And I was embarrassed to even go out in public. But on lunch one day, I passed the Republican to LGBTQ conversion campus on my way to my Standard Park bathroom hookup, and I was confident this was the right decision for them. Because my expectations of my parents are much more important than their opinions of themselves, and they should absolutely live like I think they should live. So, I did load up their Coors cans with sleeping meds, and without their will, brought them here, and I couldn't be more happy. I just saw my dad on Grindr the other day, hosting a pump and dump at the La Quinta on 5th. I cried tears of joy. And my mom, she's in between loves with her U-Haul right now. My family couldn't be any more happy.
So don't let us tell you just how perfect this place is for you. Come down to the Republican to LGBTQ conversion camp today. So set your family gay. We're here, we pray the gay your way.
Hey guys, make sure you follow and subscribe to our podcast so you can receive a notification every Sunday when a new episode drops.
Well, I don't know about you guys, but whenever my boomer parents start getting a little out of hand and getting a little too evangelical, I send them to conversion camp.
Oh, I was so disappointed when my parents told me that they were going to stay straight. And I was like, no, I cannot live with this in my life, and you are going to be fixed. And I sent them to conversion therapy.
I told them that this was morally unacceptable, that they were going to go to hell for being straight, and they still didn't listen to me. So we had to send them to conversion camp. And do you know what? They came out queer.
I will not have straight parents in this house.
I didn't have to send my parents.
Oh,
Good
happy
for
gay
them.
mom and dad. And this is why Joe doesn't need therapy.
They wouldn't have passed the contraband check anyway.
Oh my God, your laugh sounded like RuPaul just now. It gave me a little like...
If you have captions on, it ends with a little ding, and it's like, bell dings.
Fun fact, though, did you know that RuPaul used to be Republican, and then they sent him/her to conversion camp?
Oh.
What the
Now he's a
frack?
Rumacrat. RuPaulmocrat.
Drag queen is what you're looking for.
Oh!
We sent him to the wrong camp.
Squirrel friend.
Right. Anyways, Jay, do we have any Beardos and Mid-Sundries this week?
We do.
Yay!
And I'm very disappointed in myself. I wrote this note down while I was in a meeting, but I didn't write who sent it, and I looked all over to see where it came from, and I couldn't find it. But somebody said our promo code for hymns could be Dick with 5 eyes. That's Dick with 5 eyes to your first order for 15% off.
I love how your voice
I don't
shook
think it's
twice.
Dick. It sounded like we are the wild and crazy guys.
Dick.
Instead of what it should be, which is Dick.
It sounds
I know,
like it sounds like Jay was saying dick, but then someone pressed the remote on the little remote thing that was in your butt, and you went dick.
Dick. Nothing goes
Somebody
in
tipped me, and I was like,
his
Derek!
Nothing goes
Somebody
in.
tipped me, and I was like, Derek! And then we also got a message from Lee on TikTok and said that Joe should lip sync for bread and fish to see if he's worthy.
I remember that comment, and I think I replied back and I said, because like all the licensed music's been taken off of TikTok, so I said I could just lip sync to all the complete works by Kevin MacLeod because he has all that royalty free music.
So before we get to the last email I received, I have an announcement, and we have officially, as a podcast, we have made it to a list that we did not have to make ourselves. Yay!
Yay!
Recognition.
Yes, I know. It's from FeedSpot, and I laughed because I got an email, and it said, hey, congrats, you made it on this list, and we'd appreciate it if you'd share it, so that way more people find us, blah, 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 blah. I was like, ugh, spam. And then I was like, but you know what? Just for safety, I'm going to Google it. No shit. We're there. We are number 4, Beards and Sundries. And what did it say? The best gay comedy podcast from thousands of podcasts on the web and ranked by traffic, social media followers, and freshness. We're fresh. Shit, that's fresh.
Oh, shit, that is fresh.
It says, we're here to give you a hilarious and engaging podcast hosted by 3 gay men that covers a wide range of topics from pop culture to politics. With a new topic each week, these guys are always bringing fresh and entertaining content to their listeners. Their infectious laughter and witty banter makes Beards and Sundries a must-listen for anyone looking for a good time. So tune in and join the fun. Anyways, our last thing is we got a nice, precious little email from Derek with the good beard. And Derek said, I am not a person who typically watches the news, so I did not hear anything about Nexus' story, the bullying and physical violence they endured, or the death until I received Jay's email about the content of this week's episode. At that point, I did a little research and was so angry, heartbroken, and confused about all of the information I saw. My heart goes out to the family, friends, and the LGBTQIA+ family that feels the same anger, pain, confusion, and hopelessness at this moment. Although I missed the typical lighthearted banter from the Beards and Sundries market, this episode was heavy, hard-hitting, and fucking necessary. It covered many excellent points, but I want to call out a specific one because it deserves to be reinforced. We, yes, the collective we, are in this same fight together, but sometimes we are also our worst enemy. We need to make sure that we are kind to each other, support each other, and love each other. Few things are worse than destroying the house from the inside. An attack on one of us is an attack on all of us, and if you are being bullied and need support, talk to someone or use available resources such as the Trevor Project. The world is a better place with you in it. Remember, be kind to each other, support each other, and love each other. From Derek with the good beard.
Thank you, Derek.
Yes, seriously, thank you. I mean, there's a reason why we don't just have the letters out there on their own individually. We're in this together. If we let people marginalize us and separate us, it just makes us into smaller groups. And we are in this fight. We're in it together. Just like Derek said, like we're here together. We only survive together. We only thrive together. Like we have these goals to be accepted in society, that we can just be outside and be ourselves. It's not that hard. It's not that hard. It is a difficult goal. It doesn't seem like it should be, because all we want to do is exist the same as everybody else in society. But he's 100% right. We only do that together. So thank you, Derek.
Yes, thank you very much.
Well, and then I have one more before we move on. It's actually from Dad. And he had some feedback on last week's episode. And he said, congrats on Sunday's drop. Y'all were calm, cool, and concise. Quite a departure from your lighthearted shows. This one had a journalist pulse throughout. Extremely proud of the 3 Beardos. Thanks for stepping up. Heart emoji.
He put an emoji? Good for him.
That's why we converted you. Wait, no, you didn't need conversion. That's why we never converted you.
Right.
And one more quick side note, Beardos. If you're listening to this on drop day, which is this current Sunday, tomorrow, Anthony and I are going on a trip to Florida to see my family, and it will be Anthony's first time ever celebrating my birthday with my family.
I'm really excited about it.
wow.
I'm so glad that we're going to be down there for your birthday for the first time in 12 years. Right?
Anthony and I have been together since October of 2011, and it'll be the first time that he's ever celebrated my birthday with my family.
I'm excited about it. I'm glad that you're going to be there with them, and that we're going to be there with them. I'm glad you're going to get to be around your family for your birthday. I guess that just makes me
I'm also excited for us to get out of Oklahoma for a week because it feels like a great time to get the hell out of here for 7 days.
Oh, God. And we're going to Florida, so, not much better. But
When do you guys fly back?
We're coming back on March 11th. We'll be back.
Yes.
Oh, okay. I was sitting there going, oh my God, if you fly back on March 10th, you lost an hour to daylight savings, and then you're going to lose an hour from time change.
That's a fun fact about my birthday, Beardos. Every year, the weekend of my birthday is spring forward, and we lose an hour of sleep. Yay!
I can't tell you how many times I'd be out. I don't remember. There was at least 2 years. I remember being out on your birthday, and you'd be like, come up for the birthday. And so I'd be there, and I would be looking at my clock as we're going home from the bars, and it would go from like 2:13 to 3:13. And my old bitch ass was always like, oh my God.
And since we're talking about Joe's birthdays, one of Joe's most memorable birthdays is we went down to
For
Oklahoma
you.
City. Yeah, for me. Well, I say memorable as if I remember. I do remember quite a bit of this, surprisingly, but we went to Oklahoma City and we went out to the bars, and Oklahoma City has such a better gay scene than Tulsa does as far as bars are concerned.
It does.
And we were at, what was it, the Finish Line?
I think, yes, we were at the... No, well...
Where do we
was
end
it
the
the
night?
Boom?
Where do
Usually
you
end
end
at
the
the finish
night in
line.
OKC? Is it the Boom or the Finish Line? I can't remember.
You usually end the night at the finish line, hence the name.
Yeah, finish
Right.
line.
It's
Because
got the
Boom, you watch the
bigger-
drag shows.
Because the Finish Line has the dance floor, and then it's got the areas around the dance floor. Is that right?
Yeah, and the
And then
bars,
the bar
the
that's over here.
Mm-hmm.
So we're getting close to the end of the night, and I start making out with this guy. I don't know who this is. I have no idea. I did not get his name. I did not get his number. I don't know who this person is. But we're making out, and then the lights start coming on. That's how hard we're making out, because it's the end of the night.
Yeah.
And he was like, hey, we should, I can't remember what it was that he said to me. He was like, yeah, can I get your number or something like that? And I was just like, no, I'm married.
And he looks over and points at the group of friends, and he points at me. And the guy looks over, and we're all just like, woohoo, Anthony, yeah!
Oh, what a fucking weekend that was.
I love the absolute shock. No.
I know.
I'm a lady.
I'm married. No.
Oh, what do you
How
think
could
I
you
am?
even-
Garbage.
How could you even ask after we've been making out on the dance floor for probably the last 15 minutes or so? Anyways, I'm very excited to be down there with your family on your birthday. I'm curious to see how hard they celebrate. I'm betting your sister goes crazy.
We'll see. But, so, moving on, does anybody have something to check out?
I do. So, in us talking about things that, why are they the way they are, and is this really normal? I discovered a TikTok page recently by Joe Fenty, and it's at Fenty Fried Chicken, Fenti Fried Chicken. And basically, he does this very generic, dead-eyed stare conversation that's kind of satire, just mocking what's happening. And my favorite one that I'm going to go ahead and just play for you all is his PowerPoint discussion. And it's his second video talking about what corporate life is like
Through email
talking
conversation.
about PowerPoint. because it's disgustingly accurate.
Accurate.
Hi, are you working on the PowerPoint? I am working on the PowerPoint. It's only been an hour since you assigned this to me. Great. I would like to see the PowerPoint. The PowerPoint isn't done, and I know you don't want to see it unformatted. But here is the PowerPoint anyway. Oh no, this is ugly. Use your brain? Okay, I think we should be worrying about the words we need to put in. But here is the PowerPoint so far, but pretty. I'm looking at the PowerPoint on my computer, and I don't like this shade of red. Can you make it brighter? I'm still concerned we haven't looked at the words yet, but here is the PowerPoint with a brighter red. Oh, now I'm looking at the PowerPoint on my phone, and this red is too bright. Can you make it darker? I think I see the problem. But here is the PowerPoint with a darker red. Yucky! I'm now looking at the PowerPoint on the iPad in my bathroom, and this red is too dark. Can you make it brighter? Okay, here is the PowerPoint with the original red we started with. We no longer are going to make the deadline because the words aren't ready yet. We're going to have to circle back to this later. Okay, perfect. This job has been really rewarding and a good learning experience.
Guys, this has happened to me more than once.
This happened to me yesterday from the day that we're filming.
Yucky.
I was asked to beautify a PowerPoint without using the word beautify. I said it in the meeting, and the person who was asking me to do it was like,
Did they use enhance?
They said
where'd
polish. They said polish. And I was like, okay, but let's just be for real. Let's talk about this the way it is.
Let's, as in us, as in you and me together.
Right.
Let's.
I discovered him and I was like, this is adulting.
Well, good. You should go check him out, Beardos. The
Do
link is in the show notes.
He's surprisingly relatable and very normal.
Speaking of normal, do you guys think it's time for a very normal game? Here's a game that I'm stealing from BuzzFeed. So I'm going to send you guys a link to BuzzFeed because we're millennials and that's how we decide what we do.
In the chat?
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Where's the chat thing? Oh, there it is. And
where's the chat?
And
it's in Kansas.
I see it.
Okay, there we go. Let me know once you guys are there.
Okay, I'm there.
It's in picture.
I have it on.
I'm here.
On a new tab.
Yeah. So the three of us are going to do a BuzzFeed quiz, which we will include in the show notes. Called "How Normal Are You Really?" ? Because we all know that BuzzFeed quizzes are very scientific. We all know that the BuzzFeed staff are very well paid and compensated. We all know that this is it's very real. So what we get from this, you can say is very true for us. Yeah. Are you boys ready?
Ready.
I'm ready.
Fantastic. Number 1, are you taller than your mom? Jay?
Yes.
Joe?
Yes, we used to be closer, but yes, now I am taller than her.
I am also taller than my mom.
We're normal.
Which is normal. 66% of people said they are taller than their moms. Number 2, what time do you wake up in the morning, Jay?
Before 6 a.m.
Okay. I wake up at 7 a.m. Joe, what time do you get up?
So these days, I typically wake up. Should I count this as wake up or get up? Because they're two different things.
I mean, whatever you want, man.
I don't know.
It's your thing.
Okay.
It's your quiz.
Then I'm going to go with the answer 8 a.m.
So 6:30 a.m. seems to be the most popular. So Jay, you are the second most normal, while I am the third most normal. At 7 a.m.
Joe, you're mid-class.
Ooh, yeah. 8 a.m., 8%.
Jay, don't be silly. There's no middle class anymore.
It's deteriorating.
Let's go with number 3. Where do you like to sit on an airplane? Joe, what's your answer?
Window seat.
Jay, what's your answer?
Window.
I also like the window. And I think that is the most popular answer at 75%.
My lovely boyfriend is an aisle seat. So
What?
that way he doesn't have to bother anyone to go to the bathroom.
Oh, okay, I get it. Yep.
Because he's such a respectful person. Except to me. But everyone else... No,
He's
I'm
too
kidding.
nice. Yeah.
He's too nice.
Well, moving on. Do your parents pay for your... I haven't read these before now. Do your parents pay for your cell phone? Beardos, do your parents pay for your cell phone? Who's actually doing this?
A lot of people my age, parents, still, they do it because it saves money on their plans.
Sure, I
wish.
guess. But Jay, what's your answer?
Mine is definitely no. I pay for my own. As a matter of fact, I pay for my parents.
Joe, I already know the answer for yours.
I was going to say that, Jay. We're going to rephrase this. Do you still pay for your parents on your cell phone plan? And that answer is no. We no longer pay for Anthony's parents' cell phones on our plan.
Good.
That's true, we don't. What the fuck? 64% of people said that yes, their parents pay for their cell phone plans?
Yep.
Whoa.
Yep.
So not only are the
Hey,
three of us
Mom,
in the minority.
quick question.
Yeah, seriously,
pay for our cell
Mom.
phones?
Quick question. You want to pay for your cell phone?
Hey, actually, Mom, while you're at it, since you love all three of us and you love the podcast, that's 4 phones.
Yeah. What size is your bed, Jay?
I still have not upgraded, so I'm a queen.
Well, Joe, I know what size your bed is, so... Jay, it seems like you are the majority here. Queen
Wow,
is
I'm
37%,
I don't like being this normal.
while twin is 27%, full is 26%, and Joe and I are in 8% with Joe and I are at 8% with king-sized bed.
It's wonderful.
And 2% of people have California kings. I wish.
We splurged.
I wish.
We went big a few years ago and got ourselves a king-sized Tempur-Pedic Lux Breeze model that is like active cooling.
It's so nice.
I fucking love our mattress.
Oh my god. We put it on finance, but we got it for 0% interests.
Oh, I do love that. That's why I go to Mathers Brothers, because I could get furniture and all for 12 months, 0 interest, so I'll just make sure I pay it off before it's over.
So we did it through
otherwise it's
Tempur-Pedic,
29.9.
and it was like over the course of 3 years, and we paid it off over the course of 3 years with no interest, and I mean, fantastic.
Yeah.
Number 6, have you ever used pot? Marijuana. Yes, for sure.
Yes. The DARE campaign worked with me for a long time, and then I went through cancer, and I was like, what? I don't care.
I used pot yesterday. 51% of people said yes, they have used pot, so it's a 50-50 split almost.
Well, revisiting that episode where we talked about DARE, we don't abuse it. We just used it.
Oh,
do
no.
a
Yeah,
little.
exactly.
Oh, God.
I never abused it.
No.
I don't remember the last time I've ever tried it.
I have gummies that I cut into fourths, and then I, snack on them.
I had a while where I had to do that. I think I was spiraling, going through mental health, trying to solve me, and so I couldn't sleep
How's
at
that
night. And so
going?
I did. It's actually going well now. I don't need gummies. Haven't needed them for a long time now.
Now he's just freebasing those trolley brake crawlers.
Oh, I love a nice little gummy, though. Like the nice...
I wake up to trolley.
Number 7, have you ever dated someone named Matt?
Honestly, I feel like back in the day I did. I just can't remember.
I think I did, too. I'm going to say yes, because I'm pretty sure yes.
I'm pretty positive I have. Oh, yes, I have. I just thought of who it was. Absolutely have. I wonder how he's doing.
I'm Facebooking right now.
I can't.
I
say
know,
that
I was like,
have. No, I have never.
What was... I can't remember his last name.
I have plenty of friends named Matt, but I don't think I've ever dated a Matt.
I went on one date with a Matt. Does that count?
Dated? So yeah.
Okay, yeah. Then yes. I did date a Matt, which most people have not, apparently. At 89%, they can't say that they have, whereas
Hey, I'm
11%
normal
of
on
us
that one.
have. How often do you poop? More than once a day, every couple of days, less often than that? Less often than that, you need to figure it out, bitch.
More than once a day. Maybe 2 or 3.
I was going to say mine's at least a minimum of once a day, but I would probably say more than once.
More than once for me, too. And I think that's not the majority. Most people said about once a day, 56%.
I usually begin the day with one. I'll maybe do one at work, and then typically at night. So I'd say at least 2 to 3 times a day, yeah.
I do one in the morning at work and maybe one in the afternoon at work.
Always poop on the company dime.
Right. That's a little...
Boss makes $1, I make a dime. So I poop on company time.
Whereas 19% said they poop once every couple of days, which is wild to me. Are you not eating enough? You should poop
a lot of more people
at least.
I was like, a lot more people than I ever expected have digestive things where it takes 3 days to poop, and I'm like, excuse me?
Less often than that is 2%, and I worry about those people. I do. Okay, number 9. Who was the last person you texted?
My significant other.
Wait,
I literally think it was you guys. Oh no, it was my friend Jared while we've been recording. A friend.
Well, that's normal, Jay. That's the most common one.
Yeah.
That's also who the last person I texted was. Sorry, Joe.
That's okay.
You. 47% of people said it was a friend. 22% said my significant other. 21% said a family member. And it gets lower from there. So, yeah, I'm just going to avoid those. There were so many options. Okay, can you wink?
Yep.
Yup.
What a weird question. One of
you
the
wink on
answers
both
is
sides?
only on
People
one
have.
side.
But both sides?
Yep.
I can even wink
I
with
get
both
it.
eyes
Yeah,
at once.
yeah. Shut up. Get out of here. Most people can wink at 78%. 14% said only on one side, and 8% said no, they cannot.
That's one of those weird things I've never thought of. You can only wink on one side?
I guess.
What?
Number 11 is your belly button an innie or an outie?
Any.
Innie.
For the win.
95% of people said their belly button was an innie, and apparently 5% is an outie, so it's not as common.
It's like a German sports car.
Yeah. Number 12, do you use bar soap or liquid soap in the shower?
Liquid.
I know I shouldn't, but I use Irish Spring bar soap. I know it's awful for my skin and it dries it out and it's not good, but I still use it.
Bar
Joe,
soap.
you still have time to make changes.
I
Bath
know.
and Body Works, bitch.
I should be using CeraVe soap, but I just haven't made the change yet.
I think I use native.
So 72% of people said they use liquid soap, whereas 28% use bar soap. Number 13, which side of the toilet is the toilet paper on in your bathroom?
Well, my master is actually on the right side, and my spare is on the left side.
Both of ours are on the left side.
Are you sure?
Yes.
Oh,
Your spare is-
because the...
Oh.
okay, that makes sense. Yep. So it's pretty evenly split. 51% said right side and 49% said left side.
I mean, it's more based on how your house is designed,
Yeah,
not
yeah,
that's
exactly
true.
priority.
I was hoping they meant more of like a which, like, do you mean over or under with your
That's a more better question for the normal quiz. So, to give you guys a little bit of just quick background on why we had that weird reaction to our answers. In our house, the toilet, if you look to the right, that's where the wall is, so it makes sense for it to be there. In our spare bathroom, the holder has been broken, so it's hanging off the wall kind of precariously and it doesn't hold a roll anymore. And so we put the roll on the countertop next to it, so it's on the left. And then in our main bathroom, we don't have a holder on the wall next to us in the toilet. There's a freestanding one, like one of those metal ones that holds the roll, so it's also on the left. So we're a house that it should be on the right, but it's on the left.
So number 14, what do you do first when you get in the shower?
I brush my teeth.
I shampoo my hair. I don't brushing your teeth in the shower is fucking weird.
I know, and
Shut up.
Tony and Ryan actually did this once. They did a normal ana, and Tony was like, "That's so fucking weird." And then it turned out a lot of people do it. I started doing it because toothpaste runs out of your mouth so easily. I didn't like it getting trapped in my beard, so I was like, "Fuck it, I can just like rinse off my beard really fast."
Where do you
in
put
the
your
water.
toothbrush?
I have this shelving that's built into the faraway side, and it goes on the top one, so it's like not getting sprayed on or anything.
Oh.
So when you said that most people said that they did that, do you mean 2% of people? Because that's what this quiz says.
No, I didn't say most people. I said that she thought, I think I said that she thought most people didn't brush their teeth in the shower, but a lot more than she thought did.
I mean, I guess 2%.
But I could have stumbled through it.
And 2% is 4,720 votes. So, I mean,
Jesus, that is a lot of votes.
But I wash my hair first. That is what I do. Shampoo my hair, and that's 147,300 votes.
I also shampoo my hair first because I was always told that you should wash your body from the top down.
Right.
Because everything rinses down. So I shampoo my hair, then I wash my face, then my body, and then down there. And then my legs and feet because everything rinses and goes downward. So I start from the top.
I wash
and go
my
down.
hair like once a week.
You're not supposed to wash it every day unless it's really short.
you're not supposed to wash your hair daily.
Like a couple of times a week at least.
I usually do 2 or 3.
Unless I forget, and then I start to go, oh, I think it's starting to get a little bit of that oily feeling, and then I'll finally wash it. Now my beard's different. I wash that more often.
I don't know. I guess because I hairspray.
Because I don't want to find cheeseburgers in my beard.
I think it's because maybe I hairspray my hair most days. Okay, so number 15, do you hate making small talk? My answer is that I loathe it with the passion of 12 fiery suns.
I don't like it, so that's definitely going to be my option.
Yeah, there's no gray area here, so I'm going to go with
There's
I loathe
not.
it as well.
It's fine is like one of those things like I can
because it's not
handle
usually
it,
fine.
but
Inside, I'm just saying, oh my God, I'd rather just stand here and be quiet. I don't want to talk about the weather. The weather's cold today. I get it.
52% of people said they hate it, or excuse me, they loathe it with a passion of 12 fiery suns, whereas 48% of people said it's fine.
Here's a good example of that next time you think you want to make small talk at a store. You walk up with your purchases, and the cashier says, "Hi, how are you today?" There's one answer. One answer. You say, "Good, thanks." And then if you want to be really spicy, you can say, "How are you?" Because they're usually going to reply, "Good, thanks." Because that's the answer that's going to get everyone through this interaction quickly without pain. They don't care how you are. They have to ask because they're on the clock and they're in prison and they have to ask you that. They don't actually care how you are and they don't want to know how you are. Just say, "Good, thanks," and move the fuck on. Thank you.
Truth.
Yeah.
Number 16, how often do you check Facebook?
Ooh.
I put about once a day.
I did a couple times a week.
I put about once a day.
So given these choices, I'm going to put about once a day.
which seems to be pretty much the norm. Honestly, Jay, you're doing better than most people at 10%, where you're a couple of times a week, and I wish I was that. So good.
The only reason I open it is just to clear like notifications, and I don't even like check Facebook because I'm just like, fuck it. Like the only reason stuff even posts to it is because I push it from Instagram.
Well, and if you haven't seen this lately, Facebook notifications have gotten a lot more like creative. So now I'll get sometimes and it's like, so-and-so has posted these 3 updates, or so-and-so has posted for the first time in a while. Come check it out. Or it's this person's birthday, someone who I haven't talked to in like 12 years. Like, so you're just giving me a badge notification to make me click on the app. That's what's going on here.
My favorite is someone has tagged you in a post. I'm like, oh no. And then I go look at it and it says at everyone.
And you're like, yucky.
Yucky. I want to burn your phone.
Okay, we only have 3 more of these.
Yay.
Number 17. Do you have the same political beliefs as your parents? I put no.
No.
We disagree on most things.
We disagree on practically
we
everything.
agree on most things.
And yet, none of the 3 of us are very common. 46% of people said that it was about 50-50. Joe, you're in the second largest group at 36%. Yes, we agree on most things. And Jay and I are in the minority. No, we disagree on most things at 18%.
That's a really dangerous question, though, because, like, yes, we agree on most things could be good or bad.
No, I think it's mostly... I think if you do agree on most things, it's good.
I'd like to hope so.
Well, number 18, you find $5 on the floor at work. What do you do?
So honestly, it really depends on the scenario, but I was thinking to myself, if I'm going back to my desk and I'm in my team area on the floor and I see $5 on the floor, I will ask people nearby if they dropped it.
Turn it into lost and found. I'm not losing my job over $5. There are cameras everywhere.
I put keep it.
I love how we're all 3 different.
Yeah, 49% of people said keep it, so I'm in the majority. And 45% said ask people nearby if they dropped it, so Jay is in the second majority, whereas Joe is in the extreme minority where they said turned it into lost and found. Is that what you said?
That's gay. Yes.
Last question. How often do you change your towel?
Does it stank?
I put once a week.
I put once a week because that's my goal. And a lot of times it works and it's fine. There are times where I'm just like, no, I need to change these, so I'll change them. But
right.
often, once a week works.
Once a week works.
I'm going to be honest,
I'm so glad.
and I'm going to say once every 2 weeks.
That sounds right. Yeah.
I mean, I've gone beyond a week before, and I don't like it, but...
As soon as that towel starts smelling, which is about once a week, I say, okay, it's time to throw this down and go get a new one.
Once it starts getting just that hint of musty smell, or mildew, that's the word I'll say.
The mildew, yeah.
And I'm like, I'm out. If I get that, it's gone. It could be 2 days if it gets that and I'm gone. I need a new one.
Oh my God. Man. I wish we had gone more. We'll have to go into it some other time, but like, I had looked up normal things that we do that straight men may not do, and one thing that some straight men don't do is wipe their ass.
Because it's gay to touch your ass.
Okay.
Right.
I'm out. That's gross.
Right, gross, right?
On that note, we should go.
Well, Beardos, I hear the music coming back on, and they're talking about throwing that ass in a circle. I don't know. But...
that unwiped ass.
Ew, gross. Go leave us a voicemail real quick. Our number is 405-999-2242.
And Beardos, it's normal to demand better things for you and your life. But if you'd like to go help us out, go and subscribe to the podcast so you can get reminders every Sunday when we release a new episode. We also post frequent updates on all of our social media sites for any additional sundries that we add to the market.
And don't forget to rate us 5 stars and leave us a review. Those reviews are what get us found by more listeners like you. Also, just each one of you recommending us to a friend could double our growth.
It's also very normal to send us your banking information and credit card information, including the 3-digit code on the back, for our fund to put up the billboard to make fun of Republicans in the state of Oklahoma. And it's also very normal to go to our socials and our website. You can find us at beardsandsundries.com. You can also find us on TikTok, Instagram, Threads, Facebook, and email us at beardsandsundries@gmail.com.
So, from all 3 of your very abnormal hosts here at the Beards and Sundries Market, make sure to
love yourself and fucking love each other. Stop being mean.
Because we already love you. Bye, Beardos.
Bye.
Bye.